Welcome back, regular individuals, to another episode of A Word with Erica. Today, we are going to have a word, both singular and plural, of the word boundaries or boundary. Of course, have to have a question for you. Do you know how to set boundaries for yourself? And that's one that makes you ponder. Like, do I? Some people are going to say, absolutely, I certainly do. Some people are like, I struggle a little bit with that. And other people are going to be like, I know what it is, but I don't utilize it. So, of course, we have to go to the Google. And the Google says, a boundary is a line that marks the limits of something. And we also look up boundaries or personal boundaries, the limits and rules we set for ourselves within relationships. And relationships would be whether it's a relationship with yourself, a relationship with a friend, a relationship with family, relationship with a spouse or partner. All those relationships have to have boundaries, even with yourself. So here I am, over 30 years old, and probably last year, but mostly this year, I have learned and accepted boundaries, making those boundaries and setting those boundaries in my relationships. And the funny thing is, I have to first be able to set boundaries with myself. If I can't set boundaries with myself, then I can't set boundaries with anyone else. And what I mean by setting boundaries with myself is if I say I'm going to do something or I'm not going to do something, I have to stick with that. And if I feel or see myself crossing that line of something I said I wasn't going to do, I have to take a step back and say to self, no, I don't like that. You said you weren't going to do that. I don't like it when you do that, Erica. So then I have to go back. And I have to be true to myself. Because if I can't do that, then I definitely can't do it with anyone else. So working in the mental health field, working as a case manager, early on, I was told, Erica, you have boundary issues. Have a client call me after hours, frantic. And no, I know that it's after hours, but me being who I am, had a hard time, not answering or not going. So I got up after hours and I went because it sounded like an emergency and they were frantic. So I went. Of course, I got in trouble. But on one end, it was worth it because I care so much about people and I don't want anything to happen, especially on my watch, or they say, hey, I tried to contact you like I was supposed to, or you said you were going to be there and then you didn't show up. But after time and time of trying to be there for everyone, I had a hard time having a balance in work and life. And that wasn't gonna fly because I like to spend time with my kids. I don't want to work all day and all night and on the weekend. So I was forced to find that balance. In my friendships and in my relationships, I up front, hey, if we're going to be friends or we're going to have any kind of working relationship, here's my boundaries. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. This is what I expect. You set expectations and boundaries up front. So everyone knows, all parties know what to expect. What's going to make you go the other way. And if I tell you that these are my boundaries and I ask for your boundaries and you give me yours, and if we cross those things once, then you give a gentle reminder. Hey, remember, this is one of my boundaries. This is something I told you I didn't like. I don't like it when you do this. And if they make an intentional effort to fix it or not to do it again, then the relationship could continue. But if they don't, then you might want to have a conversation or reevaluate the relationship. I've always, for the most part of my life, I've always been one of those individuals that, not really a pushover, but a pushover. Somebody who feel the need to always help someone or be there because I guess I wasn't given loyalty or given, what I would consider, what most people would consider true friendship. I didn't have someone there for me all the time when I needed them. So I decided I was going to be that person for the people in my life. And I was. I tried to be everything for everyone. And that's not fun either, because people start to look at you like you're usable, because you are usable. Not only are you usable, you're reliable, and that's a good thing, but also not if it comes at a cost to yourself. When you start to put yourself and your family on a back burner to help others, to help everyone else all the time, and they can see that you're reliable, or they see that you're going to come through regardless, and that's exactly what's going to continue to happen until you get tired. Until you get tired. And you say, nope, I'm done. I no longer want to be a doormat. I don't want to be used. This is where I am, and I care about myself and my happiness. A lot of times when we are used by other individuals, we forsake ourselves. And we alter who we are and what we truly want. And it doesn't work, because you start to have resentment towards that individual. But honestly, we get upset and we want to blame the other person. But in reality, it's us. It's us, and it's our fault. We allow others to use us. And we allow them to continue to rely on us. At the last minute, we go running, jumping through hoops. But those relationships aren't based on true connectiveness. It's based on fear. Because if I say no, if I set boundaries, they may not like me anymore. They may not want to be my friend. They're going to look at me like, oh, she's mean. No, I have boundaries. And when you are able to get to a point where you're able to, insert those boundaries up front, you're going to be a stronger individual for it. A regular individual nonetheless, but a stronger regular individual. And I think it's so funny because I'm bold. I used to be bold when I was a kid, and it fizzled out. And here I am, to the individual that I want to be, that I enjoy. Because I'm able to say, nah, I don't like that. No, I'm not going to accept that. And if I'm going into a friendship or relationship and I'm just like, listen, I'm not going to accept this, X, Y, Z. They're like, what's wrong with you? You get tired of being hurt. You become a strong individual, the individual that you're supposed to be. And a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people aren't going to talk to you, but that's okay. A lot of people are going to think you're better than them. But a lot of times for me, I feel like when people say that, you think you're so smart, you think you're better than me. That's not how I feel. That's not what I think. That's what you think. So, they may have some insecurities of their own that they need to work through, but that does not negate the fact that you need to have boundaries. As difficult as it may be, as scary as it may be, write down those boundaries. Write down those things that you won't accept. And you stick to it. Stick to your guns. I don't want to share my candy. I don't want to share my space. I don't want you to get too close to me. I have physical boundaries, mental boundaries, emotional boundaries, spiritual boundaries, financial boundaries. No type of abuse would be accepted. And like I said, when I moved here, I had decided I am not taking any crap that I don't have to take, and neither should you. You set those boundaries and you stick to those boundaries, and people have no choice but to respect that. And if they don't want anything to do with you, then hey, they weren't meant to be in your life. They were not the regular individuals for you, because they're probably not regular, because they want to use you. And going back to me saying, we want to blame them, on some level, they are to blame, because if they see that you're usable, they're going to continue to do it. Even if it's been years and years and years after relationship has started, you still have the right to insert limits, boundaries, rules on what you will and won't accept. Because as humans, we grow, we change, and we can do that at any time we want to be better. So we can have those boundaries, and people can either respect them or they can exit your life. The choice is yours. You give them the choice. You give them the opportunity to change. You set those boundaries out, and you give it time, not too much time, but time that works for you. And if they can't abide by those boundaries, then it's time for you to go. So look at yourself. Set those boundaries with yourself and others, and watch you thrive. Okay, you regular individuals out there, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, whatever you feel like you want to do to get this word out to someone who may need it. Because the goal here is to help provide some support for you in your progress and in your healing, because I can't say completely healed, but I am a healing individual, and I am a regular individual. So I'm here to support you, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day.